He's going into the wind, at least in this stadium, what wind there is. And the kick is off the mark, and the Packers are going to lose this game.
And that, folks, right there is some history. The last time the Cardinals won a football game in Green Bay, their home was in Chicago, and the year was 1949. If you had Chase Edmonds and Zane Gonzalez as the key players in this Cardinals win in Green Bay, the first in 69 years, you win. Edmonds, 2 touchdowns. Gonzalez, 2 field goals, including the eventual game winner with 1:51 to play. The best kicker in ASU history, Zane Gonzalez, cut by the Browns in Week 3 after missing a potential game-winning kick, is a hero in Week 13. The Birds stun the Packers 20-17.
I mean, it's amazing, especially for this team and this organization. Just the way they let me come in here and open arms, like I said before. And I mean, I'm just happy to be able to do this for the team and get a team win.
And the Packers fired their coach after the game. The family of Tyler Hilinski, the Washington State quarterback who committed suicide in January, is speaking out about their son's death. And part of their story runs right here through Tucson, Arizona. You'll remember Hilinski played extensively in the Cougars' loss to the Wildcats at Arizona Stadium last November. And that game is referenced several times in a story that was published Tuesday by Sports Illustrated. Now, I pulled the excerpts from this Seattle Times story on the article that kind of summarizes the Arizona angle in one big chunk. It begins with the Hilinskis, who told Sports Illustrated that Tyler was distressed after the Arizona loss and that he told his older brother Kelly that he had sustained a hit that rocked him. In a text message to the Seattle Times on Tuesday morning, Washington State head football coach Mike Leach said he did not recall the hit Tyler told his brother about in the Arizona game. The family went on to tell SI they noticed some changes in Tyler after that loss to Arizona. He was less responsive to their calls and texts for the rest of the season, but they just chalked it up as being him busy with football and school. Tyler's dad, Mark Hilinski, told Sports Illustrated, "The reality is we missed it and we let him down." Now, the Hilinskis don't specifically pinpoint in the Sports Illustrated article the hit in question in the game against the Wildcats that their son was referring to. But this video that you're seeing right here is attached to that Sports Illustrated story. And this video includes this clip of a hit Tyler took near the goal line that was made by U of A linebacker Tony Fields. When you watch this video, you can clearly see there was helmet-to-helmet contact between the two players. However, there was no penalty assessed to Fields for targeting on this play. Tyler Hilinski was 21 years old when he died in January. The Sports Illustrated report says an analysis of his brain at the Mayo Clinic indicates he had the first stages of CTE. CTE is the degenerative brain disease that is being more commonly found after death in men who have played the game of football. The report went on to say that the level of CTE found in 21-year-old Tyler Hilinski had in fact aged his brain to that of a 65-year-old. A 21-year-old football player with the brain of a 65-year-old. I love this game called football, but man, whew, let that stat sink in and resonate for a while. I'm David Kelly. A great Sunday night to you. Minneapolis, Minnesota, the site of X Games, the premier event in extreme sports. And Tucson's Kevin Peraza out of Sunnyside High looking to defend his gold medal in BMX Park. It did not happen, though. Peraza, in fact, just missed out on a medal altogether. 33 100ths of a point put him in 4th place overall. A flat tire flattened his title hopes on his final run of the day. Not a great event for Peraza as he failed to even qualify for the final in his other event, BMX Dirt. All right, the Diamondbacks avoided a sweep to start the second half of the season. Zach Greinke was money, struck out a season-high 13 in a 6-1 win over the Rockies. Only the second time in 2018 he has struck out 10 or more. Nick Ahmed drove in a pair of runs in this ball game, and he threw the gloves at him in the 9th inning on this fantastic diving play to end the game. Snakes now head to Chicago for 4 against the Cubs. Casino del Sol was sold out Saturday night for Guerra de Gallos, and the fighters, they did not disappoint. Let's check in with some of the fellas that we profiled this past week, starting with Nick Rhodes. NyQuil had to go the distance, but he won every round from all three judges in a unanimous decision win over Hamilton Ash. Rhodes has fought 4 times this year to start his transition from MMA to boxing, and he is now 4-0. He's the one with all the tattoos, and afterward he spoke on what he wants to tighten up.
My combinations, being more creative, and just a little better footwork, a little better head movement with my feet, stuff like that. I didn't get my KO that I wanted, but I got the win, and that's really what matters to me right now, so just carrying on these W's.
All right, things were a little tougher for local tattoo artist Jensen Ramirez in his bout against Sierra Vista's Jesus Arveo. These two stood toe-to-toe for their 6 rounds. Ramirez in the red and black trunks there, though, wins a majority decision. That means that one judge had this fight as a draw. The bad news, though, for the tattoo artist is he injured his right hand. Uh-oh.
I did hurt my hand, but it's nothing crazy, just a little sprain. I'm gonna come back to work, you know, tattooing Tuesday, and back to training the following week.
And lastly, the main event, the battle for Tucson. Wilbert Lopez in the 2nd round dropped Alfonso Rivera to one knee with that hard right hand. And that might have made the difference in this fight, which ended in a split decision. Lopez emerged the victor thanks to a strong finish over the last 2 rounds.
Como decimos los mexicanos, tienes que moverte.
We basically told him that we needed these rounds. We needed these rounds, and he had to put his life on the line on this one. I know it sounds dramatic, but basically we're fighting for a career, and a loss would really hurt us.
The knockdown affected me a lot, but he's a great champion. He's a great friend, so wish him the best.
Tucson showed up. I always knew that it was a fight town and nobody wanted to take the risk to come out here, and I said, I'll do it. And Tucson has spoken. Every fight was great. And that's the recipe. You have to put on good fights, and the fans know good fights.
And great to see the love that these two friends, Lopez and Alvarez, showed to each other after the fight. To find out who won the other 5 bouts, just head on over right now to TucsonNewsNow.com/sports. Francesco Molinari emerged from a crowded pack to win the British Open, a wild final round. The Italian shot a bogey-free 2 under 69. He finished at 8 under. Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, they were in a group of 5 that finished 2nd, 2 shots behind Molinari. Tiger Woods briefly had the lead in his first major in 9 years on the 11th, but he went double bogey and bogey to finish at 5 under. And he shot 71 on the day. That is sports for now. Stay right here. We are coming right back. I'm David Kelly. A great Wednesday evening to you. Spent the afternoon out at the Gallery Golf Club in Marana on the North Course, where something pretty incredible took place last month. Barb Parker from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. She's a snowbird and a member at the Gallery. On March 26th, she sank not 1, but 2 holes in 1. And not only did they come in the same round, but they came just 3 holes apart on the par 3 12th and 15th holes at the Gallery's North Course.
You know, for that entire weekend, I was just walking around in a daze. On this hole here, it was 125 yards, and I hit a really good 8-iron. And it just went over, and it was a back pin, went over the little ridge. And when we got up there, sure, there it was. It was in the hole.
And then 2 holes later, you get to 15.
We had a breeze just like this as well. So just kind of a little breeze coming back at us. And when I hit my shot, for whatever reason, it's very difficult to see the balls land on this green. So I didn't see it go in the hole. So I kind of went up there and I was just looking at the in the rough, like just very quickly. And I thought, no, there's no way it's in the desert, because it was a really good shot. And it wasn't there. And a couple paces up, and I went up and I saw, I looked in the hole, and I had my shamrock. Here's my shamrock just staring at me, and I'm going like, and then I just froze, and I couldn't believe it. And I yelled out to everybody, and everybody's, of course, somebody, no way, you know, you're just kidding. And that, and I'm going, no, it's in the hole. It was just, yeah, it was unbelievable.
After you hit a hole-in-one on a course like this, on a hole like this, what's it like the next time you play it?
You know what, I didn't have any expectations, and which is kind of odd, but I just consider myself to be so totally lucky to have 2 of them in one round and 4 of them in total. It's just, yeah, I have no expectations.
And then today, back at the par 3 15th, all Barb did was this.
Serious! Look at this!
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think there's much to think about on this one. Birdie. I like this hole.
Is that crazy or what? Barb Parker, who leaves Thursday to head back home to Canada, shot a 73 that day. She made the 2 aces, matching the best round of her life. And that is sports for now. Stay right here. We are coming right back. Welcome back to Freeway to Phoenix. I'm David Kelly. Pleased to be joined in studio by college basketball analyst Corey Williams, Arizona basketball class of 1996. And Corey, let's get into the evolution of freshman center Lauri Markkanen, especially at the defensive end of the floor. He has made some big strides in the last month, and I want to focus on a play from the Cal game here where he was guarding Ivan Rabb out here on the perimeter. And one of the things that I liked about this play was Lauri's heels never touched the ground when he was defending the low post here. What is important about that, and a big man down low being quick and light on his feet?
Well, it's one of the things that makes him such a special player is his mobility. A lot of times 7-footers are slow, they get in foul trouble, but he's staying on his toes, he's moving his feet, but I also notice he's keeping his hands out of there. He's moving his feet, using his length and timing to make plays on the basketball. A lot of times freshmen have a tendency to get too aggressive and make fouls, but right now he's figured out that he's got that wingspan, so all he has to do is move his feet and make plays on the basketball. No fouls means more playing time, which means more productivity for the Wildcats.
And you mentioned length, and one of the things I loved from that Oregon game was the play with Dylan Brooks when he kind of let Dylan Brooks drive by him to the basket, but he knew he had the ability to meet him at the rim and block the shot. All right, let's talk about another freshman who is having some issues and has lost time in the rotation, and that's Kobe Simmons out here guarding the perimeter against USC. And one of the things you're going to see here, and this is something Sean Miller does not like, and that's his guards getting blown by to the basket. You cannot let that you play that type of defense and expect to stay on the floor, especially now when games begin to matter this much.
No, and you're right. It's unacceptable from a defensive standpoint. Now, the guys are much quicker at the 2 spots, so it's a little bit tougher. But Kobe Simmons is a quick player himself. It's really mental. Coming out, being focused, and having the attitude that you're not going to let the offensive player just go wherever he wants. If you get beat a couple of times and guys have to help out, you're going to find yourself sitting with the coaches on the sidelines.
All right, you had a chance to see the North Dakota squad play in the Big Sky Championship game, Corey, firsthand. What did you like about them?
They've got a great backcourt, couple of guards that play up tempo. They are not afraid to shoot the quick 3, and they also love to get in the lane and get fouled. So if Arizona does the things we talked about, defend, contest shots, and rebound, Wildcats should be fine.
Is this a Final Four team, Arizona?
I think this is a Final Four team because they think defense first. And that's what you need when you go to these neutral sites, loud crowds. You may have an off night shooting, but if you bring your D, you should be all right.
Corey, appreciate it as always. Corey Williams, Arizona basketball class of 1996. Herman Harris, or Herm, was known as the Germ during his U of A days. He averaged 20 points a game as a senior in 1977, but although he played all 4 of his eligible seasons, he left the university short of completing his degree.
I had to chase that dream first, you know, playing ball, you know, thought I was going to be the next millionaire and all of that stuff, but it was like, it didn't happen like that.
No, it didn't. Harris played basketball briefly overseas, then went into the military, and after that worked for 29 years down at the Pima County Superior Court. It was after retiring from there that his wife had a suggestion.
I wasn't doing anything, so my wife said, go back to school.
And he did, under the Cats Forever program. inching his way towards that degree he had left behind 40+ years before.
I did my classes like 1 or 2 at a time because I didn't want to mess up.
Did you have a backpack like all the rest of the kids?
Yeah, I did.
And carrying around that backpack across campus, Herman Harris was able to fulfill a promise he made to someone very close to him.
I promised my mom that I would get my degree.
How would you best describe the influence that your mother had on you?
I didn't choose to come here. She told me I was coming here. No, seriously. If these people were nice enough to come all the way from Arizona, you're going to Arizona.
What would Coach Snowden say to you right now if he was here?
Germer, good job.